What up, world? Established Rich coming right back at you. Listen, Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, and Damon Jones have all been swooped up by the FBI. They call it one of the biggest sports gambling crackdowns in years. And the details sound like something straight out of a Scorsese movie.
Today, we are here in New York to announce a historic arrest across a wide-sweeping criminal enterprise that envelops both the NBA and La Cosa Nostra. The men and women up here standing with me represent a small portion of the leadership team that brought profound justice in an era that needed it more than any. I'll just highlight some of the details in the case and the FBI work, and then you'll hear from the others. But as you now know, individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today, former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Cosa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchese crime families. And you'll hear more about those details today. The charges and the arrests that were taken down across this country range from wire fraud, money laundering, extortion, robbery, illegal gambling. This FBI will leave no room for any perpetrator of crime. Men and women that are standing up here today worked tireless hours, days, months, and years. And the fraud is mind-boggling. It's not hundreds of dollars. It's not thousands of dollars. It's not tens of thousands of dollars. It's not even millions of dollars. We're talking about tens of millions of dollars in fraud and theft and robbery across a multi-year investigation. And we could not have done it without our interagency partners that are before us today. The NYPD, HSI, and teams of law enforcement officials from around the country made this day possible. It takes a team to allow this kind of illicit activity to happen, not only at the national sporting level, but also where it hides in La Cosa Nostra. They collided together. They perpetrated a fraud that is historic in terms of not just money, but the scheme and the deceit that they utilize to steal and swindle people from money, to include crypto fraud. This is an operation that showcases to you that under President Trump's administration, there is no room for any type of criminal behavior, be it on the world's largest stage or in the back rooms of tiny parlors where card games are being played.
We're announcing today indictments in two major cases, both involving fraud. One involves sports betting, and the other involves illegal gambling, very specifically rigged poker games. The first indictment involves 6 defendants who are alleged to have participated. One of the most brazen sports betting became widely legalized in the United States. This scheme is an insider sports betting conspiracy that exploited confidential information about National Basketball Association athletes and teams. The second indictment involves 31 defendants alleged to have participated in a nationwide scheme to rig illegal poker games. These defendants, which include former professional athletes, used high-tech cheating technology to steal millions of dollars from victims in underground poker games that were secretly fixed. The games in the New York area were backed by the Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese crime families of La Cosa Nostra. While the cases are separate, there are 3 overlapping defendants charged in both cases: Damon Jones, Eric Ernest, and Shane Hennon. The indictments in these cases contain only allegations, and the defendants are presumed innocent until they are proven guilty in a court of law. But my message to the defendants who've been rounded up today is this: your winning streak has ended. Your luck has run out. Violating the law is a losing proposition, and you can bet on that. Nero Laster, Damon Jones, a former NBA player and coach, and Terry Rozier, a current NBA player. Other co-conspirators were previously charged for their roles in the scheme, including former NBA player Chauncey Porter. Between December 2022 and March 2024, these defendants perpetrated a scheme to defraud by betting on inside, non-public information about NBA athletes and teams. They relied on corrupt individuals, including Jones and Rozier. They also misused information obtained through long-standing friendships that they had with NBA players and coaches. And in at least one instance, they got their information by threatening a current player, Porter, because of his pre-existing gambling debts.
The FBI says they have been watching for months, multiple states, multiple players, and tens of millions of dollars moving under the table. Now the NBA has put both Billups and Rozier on immediate leave. The league says they are taking this with the utmost seriousness. But I'm gonna keep it real. This story goes deeper than the integrity of the game. Terry Rozier, they say he was out here feeding bettors inside information, telling folks when he planned to sit out of a game early so they could cash out. And when the money came in, they delivered it straight to his house, counted the cash right there in his living room, like a scene out of Paid in Full. Now, Chauncey Billups, this one shocked me. Mr. Big Shot himself. They say he was involved in rigged high-stake poker games, connected to mafia families. We talking about x-ray tables, fixed shufflers, contact lenses, hidden cameras. A multi-billion-dollar operation meant to bleed the rich dry. And according to the feds, over 34 people have been arrested. 7 million in losses. One dude lost 1.8 million in a single game. They even said threat and intimidation were used to collect debts. Bro, this ain't just sports. This is organized crime. But here's why I'm confused. They gonna lock these guys up for gambling while the league got sportsbook logos on every jersey. Every game you watch got live odds on the screen. The announcer say, oh, he just hit the over. You can literally place bets from your phone while you watch the game. So let me get this straight. They can profit off your bets legally, but if a player or a coach touch $1 off the books, he's a felon. Make that make sense. I gotta say it. The sports betting companies run this. All these legalized online books, DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, they making billions. So when the feds bust a private operation, it's not just about integrity. It's about protection. They're protecting the corporate bag. Any illegal gambling that cuts into their profits, they shutting it down. That's the real conspiracy. And the NBA ain't innocent either. They love the money these betting deals bring in. But when the backdoor deals pop up, they act like they don't know what's going on. This ain't the first time sports has gotten hit with a gambling scandal. Pete Rose banned for life for betting on baseball. Calvin Ridley suspended a whole season for parlay. Chauncey Porter, lifetime ban from the NBA for tipping off bettors. The pattern is clear. The system makes gambling normal, but the minute an athlete touches it, they become the poster child for corruption. It's like they say, do as we say, not as we do. And let's not ignore the pressure. Rozier came from nothing. Billups been in the league forever. Sometimes that money, that power, that access, it can make you think you untouchable. But here's the truth. No amount of fame can protect you from consequences. Everybody think they smart enough to play the game until the game start playing them. Look, I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm not condoning anything illegal, but I'm also not gonna sit here and pretend like these corporate companies don't have their hand in this too. The difference is they got lobbyists, they got lawyers, they got political protection. So when the feds start talking about integrity, I hear monopoly, because it's not about stopping crime. It's about controlling the market. And trust me, this story ain't over. When 34 people get arrested, somebody always flips. And when they do, we gonna find out who else been sitting at that table. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe, establish rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.